Hey YouTube, it is Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com, coming at you again with another video of one of our Italian speaker manufacturers. This time we are bringing you DB Technologies, and this is one of the newer boxes in the Opera series. This is an Opera 12, and it has been redone from the original Opera series. And DB Technologies has just kind of reintroduced it and have done some major things on it that we will go over with you. But it is a 600 watt RMS box. This is true RMS watts out of these things. This is not like some of the other manufacturers that rate their boxes at 1,000 watts and don't tell you that it is only 1,000 watts peak or 1,000 watts program or 1,000 watts continuous. This one is rated at 1,200 watts peak. The spec on it is 600 watts RMS, and we'll tell you how that's divided between the high frequency driver and the 12-inch low frequency driver. But we're going to go ahead and get into this new Opera 12 box. Excited to hear it and take a listen, and we're going to do a full take it apart on it. When we get to the end, we'll give you the price point of what these boxes are, but they are priced very competitively for what they offer. So let's get into it, the DB Technologies Opera 12. Before we get into opening the box up, just wanted to go over the specs on this. Again, it is a two-way speaker. Usable bandwidth, they say, is minus 10 dB at 52 to 20,000. Frequency response minus 3 dB down, 67 to 19.6, which is probably a little bit more realistically or a little bit higher. Max SPL at 1 meter is 129 dB. The high frequency compression driver has a 1-inch exit. It's a 1.4-inch voice coil. Low frequency driver is a 12-inch with a 2-inch voice coil. It is crossed over at 2,000 cycles, and it's got a 24 dB per octave crossover. It has FIR filtering on the DSP on it, and then the dispersion of it is 100 degrees, 85 degrees up, 120 down. Vertical dispersion is 25 up, 60 down. The amplifier on this is the advanced SMPS switch mode power supply, Class D, 600 watts RMS, 1,200 watts peak. The processor on this thing is a 56-bit DSP with 24-bit to 48 kilohertz A to D, D to A converters. It does have limiting in it, which is peak limiting, RMS, and also thermal limiting, that if it gets too hot. And then it's got some rotary encoder presets on it. The connection on it for power is just a IEC. We do have a couple of combo XLR 1/4-inch inputs, which we'll just spin this thing around here and show you that we've got these inputs on the box. There's also a through XLR out that you can either link off of channel 1, or you can do the mix out between the two inputs on it. The housing on this thing is polypropylene. It's really solid. They've done a good job with this thing, that it's nice and thick and sounds very solid. There's some, I'm sure, some dampening material in it. One of the nice things about it, as you see from top to bottom, they've gone through and put a full grille on the thing, and then also have the foam on it that gives it that really kind of pro look, in my opinion. I think their last series didn't have the foam on it, and it was nice, but these are much nicer. It does have some rigging points in. It does have a pole mount on the thing, and the box weighs in at almost 32 pounds total on this. So let's go ahead and go through the input plate on the rear, and we'll get into that and show you what these are, and then talk about what the DSP settings are, and then we'll go ahead and get this box opened up and take a look and see what's inside. So as you can see on the back of the box, we do have channel 1 and channel 2 inputs here with their own level controls. They both have settings on them for line or mic. And then we do have a DSP preset that goes all the way from flat all the way through these switch settings for speaker mode, and then in a wedge mode we do have a couple of different frequency response settings. Limiter light, signal light, and then also a ground lift. On the balanced output on the XLR, we can have just a channel 1 link, or we can mix both of these into this same output, and then just a standard IEC connector. The DSP presets that they're calling out flat is flat. S1 encoder is for a club, S2 is vocal, S3 is bass reduction, S4 is playback, S5 is bass boost, W1 is wedge for vocals and wedge for playback, and then again for flat. But a very nice looking amplifier on this box, and just the whole ergonomics of it with the handles and everything on it feels really nice. So we're going to go ahead and get into take apart mode. We'll pull the grill off and pull the speakers out and take a look and see what we've got here on this DB Technologies Opera 12. So there we've got the grill pulled off now, and straight away you can see the insides. One of the things I want to comment about the grill is that it's constructed out of probably 18 gauge steel. It does have the foam glued to the inside of it so it doesn't ever get lost. One of the things I must compliment them on, which you don't get a lot of manufacturers that do this, but this little sticker that is on the front of these things that comes with it, this thing peels off and doesn't leave any residue on the grill, which I can't say that a lot of manufacturers really think about that. You peel the thing off and all of a sudden you're left with a bunch of paper and stickum and goo on there that just takes forever to get off and clean up. Screws came out really easily. This thing tucks into this seam on both sides, and nice pro looking grill. So now we've got the box exposed, and you can kind of see what they've done with the horn flare on this and then the porting, and then down here with the low frequency driver, the 12-inch driver, as you can see here in the box. This whole front assembly is held on and then comes out. This is one piece injection molded, and then as we spin it, the amplifier will lift out with all these screws removed on the box. It does have a wedge cut, so you can use it as a floor monitor. That's why we've got the DSP settings for the wedge. They put a handle on the top and a handle on the side, and then it does have the pole socket in the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and get this low frequency driver pulled first so we can pull the front assembly out, and then we'll pull the front assembly and the amplifier and take a look at what kind of components we have inside this DB Technologies Opera 12. So I've got the box open and the low frequency driver pulled out, and my assumptions were correct that it does have some dampening and padding material on the inside, as you can see here, which they've completely wrapped it with, which takes that hollow sound of the box out of it and stops a lot of the resonance in the box. The speaker that is in for the 12-inch driver is a stamped frame, just standard surround suspension. It does have a ceramic magnet on it, thus the weight of the speaker is tied up in the magnet for the drivers. Kind of looks like a standard 12-inch driver. So we'll put some smart on it later and see what it really kind of looks like as far as the frequency response curve that they state, and then we'll play some music on it and see what we get based on the input versus the output. So, but nice construction, standard speaker, nothing fancy. You can see the amplifier in the back there. Leads come off with just little clippies so that if you ever had to replace a driver, it's fairly easy to do. All of these screws are either Phillips or Allen head screws, so they're fairly easy to get out, and all coarse thread going into the plastic. So we're going to go ahead and get this front assembly pulled off so we can take a look and see what the horn assembly and driver looks like on this DB Technologies Opera 12. Okay, so we've got all the screws out. Tricky guys, if you ever take one of these apart and need to get the high frequency driver out of it, there is a screw in the back of it right through here that holds the whole assembly on with just one screw after all the other screws come out. So FYI. But once we found that, pulled the amplifier, because we had to pull the amplifier out to get to it, we straight away were able to pull off the front assembly and expose the high frequency driver. So high frequency driver is held on to the flare assembly ceramic magnet on this high frequency driver, but it's held onto the flare assembly with a plastic mounting collar, and does not appear to be a, let's see if it's a screw-on driver. Nope, it's bolted on there pretty tight. So looks like one of the standard DB Technologies drivers. One thing that they have done, which you probably can't see in the video, but we'll show you anyway, there's a little screen down there to protect any kind of dust and debris or anything from coming into the to the high frequency driver. So, and just with the added foam protection over the grill assembly can ensure you that you're not going to get a whole lot of gunk in the thing over the years of use. So one of the things that we did find, let me go ahead and put this down, which really is a nice feature. They have gone in and put a strengthening member in, and I'll just lay this down so you can see here. But they've put this cross brace strengthening member in, and that's what the front assembly is screwed to as well. But it gives the cabinet some really good rigidity from side to side. So kudos to them for doing that. And again, that's removable as well. But you can see what they've done with the dampening material inside there and wrapped it around to help with some of the resonance of the plastic speaker box. Let's go ahead and set this off to the side here, and we will grab the amplifier. So this is the amplifier assembly here. Turn it over and you've got your entire DSP section up here connected to the amplifier and the power supply with just a short little ribbon type cable. You've got your IEC power input here, on and off switch here. There is a fuse behind this over here. And then it goes into the amplifier and the switch mode power supply, but looks fairly standard of the power amplifiers that DB Technologies and some of the other manufacturers are now doing. Very compact, very lightweight, surface mount technology on them. This whole thing maybe weighs 3 or 4 pounds, so really nice. And then fairly rugged feeling as well. So metal plate, not plastic on it. So that is the entire speaker with all the amplifiers and everything out of it. This whole speaker might weigh 5 pounds with the plastic, with the amp out and the speakers and everything out. So the weight of it is taking into consideration everything that is combined as far as the amplifier, the speaker weight, the cabinet weight, and the high frequency driver on the box. So one of the things I wanted to kind of get in a little bit closer here is and talk about the flare of this horn. As you can kind of see what they've done with it, that they have kept the top of it fairly narrow and directed, where if it's up on a stand or something, this thing will have some really good down front coverage. And that's what they've done with the flare angles on this, and that's what we kind of went over earlier in these specifications. As far as the horizontal is 100 degrees, so it's 85 up, 120 down, and then the vertical dispersion is plus 25 minus 60. So we've got 60 down plus 25 up, and then horizontal this way. And it does shape it differently, as you can see how this comes out, that it ends up giving a little bit better coverage on the straightaway, straight out, and then also dispersed down in front of where the speaker would be located on a stand or stacked on a stage or on top of a subwoofer or something. So one of the things, always register for warranty on these products. The warranty on these guys here in the States is 2 years from the date of purchase with your receipt. So 24-month warranty on these guys, so that is pretty nice. I've really never had any issues or problems with much of the DB Technologies product line over the years, and we've sold quite a bit of it. So what we're going to do now is get the speaker back together and put it on smart and do some running some noise through it and looking at input versus output, and then we'll run some non-copyrighted music through it, so you can kind of see what the response is of the music input versus what we're getting out of it as far as the frequency response on the smart curve as well. So there you have it, DB Technologies Opera 12, and we'll go ahead and get going on the traces and get this video wrapped up. Okay, so we've got RTA set up here. I've tried to get the cameras on this focused kind of as best we could with the lighting that is going on in here, which on this reflective screen just kind of sucks. But what we've got is the RTA mic set up in front of the Opera 12, and a little bit close, but for these purposes it will work. Got pink noise being generated. And so what we're going to do is turn on the generator and start that cycle. So that we can kind of see what the comparison is. As you can see my voice in the background with the blue, we can kind of see what the comparison is between the original generator signal and what the speaker is actually putting out. I'm going to move this mic back just a little bit. There we go. And we're focused again. So noises going up. And you can see what the generator is doing, and I'll bring that up a few dB. But we can see here what is happening with the speaker, which is on the blue trace. So we can see that we've got some low-end content down here that the speaker is just not doing, and that's down at 31. It kind of drops off at 63. And as we go back to the generator again, you can see we've got a little bit of boost up in the low frequency area. But as far as the highs and things, they seem to be tracking fairly flat as far as the frequency response is concerned. I believe we've got this set on flat. I am just going to double check and make sure that that is the case and we are not boosted with any of the DSP settings on this. And yes, we are set on flat. So that is kind of a indication that you know, the thing's got a little bit of boost in the low frequency area that we're picking up, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that generator back on. And you can see, again, it's tracking fairly good. You know, it's got, you know, a few dB of boost up in the low end on the flat section. What I'm going to do now is put it into the club mode, which has kind of got a low frequency boost to it in the DSP portion, and we'll go ahead and switch that onto the S1 setting. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at what that is going to do. So here we go. So it looks to be even a little bit more boosted up here in the low frequency range. Maybe a little bit of boost in the high area versus what is being generated with the noise generator. We change the resolution down to 148. A little more spikes going on, but tracks fairly well to what the noise generator is doing. So we'll go ahead and stop all those readings. And there we got the mic live again. What I wanted to do also was just play some music through it, something that is copyright free that we've downloaded from YouTube. and get that into, just take a look and see what it does with music reproduction. So what we have done is we've downloaded some music from YouTube on MP3s or whatever they have that they won't block, because everything that's popular, YouTube will say copyright infringement, we're going to block this, and they take all the audio out, not just the song. So what we've done is we've got a song on here that we've got that we can put up and just kind of see how it's tracking. Our RTA is in the blue in the background, and then you can see the original content coming off the iPod that we've got, older generation 80 gig iPod. And I can go ahead and then bring that low-end content up, but you can just kind of see that there is some content down there. We'll just click on the speaker itself in the blue. So there is some low content there that the speaker is just not reproducing because it just is too low up in this green area here. So bring the RTA mic volume down a little bit. Next song. See, the speaker's tracking fairly well to what the original content is, except for in the low area down here. Boosted up the RTA mic so that they're tracking fairly close, as you can see here in the display. We can decrease the resolution a little bit back down to 124, 112. Give you a little bit more open resolution that you can see how the bars are going on the display. But again, as with most of the speakers at this size, unless you've got a subwoofer, they're not going to be reproducing anything steadily down in this area below 63 anyway with that size of a driver. Maybe at very low volumes, but nothing where you're going to be pushing it. So that is kind of the RTA aspect on the Smart of the Opera 12 by DB Technologies. So that is our review of the DB Technologies Opera 12 speaker. I can see these kind of coming into play in some of our rental areas, corporate events, talking heads, DJ rentals, speaker on a stick kind of thing for different events, with a wedge cut for some of our C stages and things like that. These things would work out quite well. So the plastic on it, durable construction. I don't have any complaints. The specs on it, the way that the thing came out on the RTA, everything looks like the specs are spot on for what they say they are. So the speaker maps out at a price point of $399, and you can probably find it less expensive than that. You can give us a call at area code 209-832-8023 or check us out on the web, www.trinityprosound.com. We thank you for watching. We're going to be posting some more videos pretty soon. We're going to have a DB Technologies VIO coming out, and then one of their new HP, I think their HP line is what it is that we looked at the NAMM show a couple of weeks ago, and going to be doing a review on that box as well. So stay tuned. We thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for subscribing. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us via the website. We're also on Facebook, and you can also contact us through YouTube and message us with any comments or questions. So again, Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com. Thanks for watching.